What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video for this Saturday, 2023. It is September 16th. We are back. We are ready to go. We've got college football today. We've got MMA today. We have baseball today, which we're going to cover. Check it out. If you've never been here before, welcome to the channel. Hopefully you're in for a treat. We do something a little bit different than those other DFS providers. They're going to give you like 5 or 6 plays, and if they don't work, they don't work. We go through every single game that's on the slate. We look at all the available pitching. As you can see down below, as of now, we don't know who's pitching in the Giants-Colorado game because it is a doubleheader here. But we've got it all for you. We go through all of the pitching. We go through all the bats that we like in those matchups. At the end of the video, we do 10,000 simulations every single day. At the end of this video, we're going to give you the top 10 batters and top 10 pitchers of the entire day after 2,000 simulations. So we're very excited about it. Obviously, we have football tomorrow. Just so much going on this weekend. We're so excited. If you've never been to the channel, welcome. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the website. You can find it right here. We do everything. So we go through rankings. We're going to have a rankings. These will update Sunday morning. So these rankings come out Wednesday morning. So definitely check that out. I did the video a little bit different this week. I think we're going to just have one video for rankings. And for everyone here that has been with us for these MLB videos, I think you're in for a treat for our matchup tool with for NFL. So we're going, and we go through all of this. So we are going through, this is our matchup tool. I'm working on it right now. We're going to go through all of these. So we're going to look at everything that's here coming forward, and we're going to look at all the plays that may make sense in all the NFL games. So that video will come out a little bit later today, I believe. If it's not, depending on when you watch this video, it might already be out. I don't know when that'll get updated and uploaded. So that being said, we've got a ton of information. We've got a ton of things going. To support the channel, there's a few ways. Go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, sign up for FTA Plus, $24.99 a month, gets you everything on the website, including sports betting. Or if you use the promo code through week 2 is the last one, or 3 coupon codes left. If you use the promo code NFL VIP, you get $100 off the yearly package. Normally $199, get it for $99 right now. So anytime a video gets at least 50 likes, you leave a comment and you are a subscriber, you have a chance to win a weekly DFS pass brought to you by FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Anytime a video gets 50 likes or 100 likes, you have a chance to win a free month. 125 likes, you have a chance to win an entire year for free. And anytime a video gets 150 likes or more, someone will win a lifetime pass. Today is the day. We're going to get 150 likes, because if we get 150 likes on this video, 2 people are going to win a lifetime pass. Normally $499, a lifetime pass for you if this video gets 150 likes. So I know we can do it, and you can win every single day. So come back tomorrow, get the bell notification in, get those in there so you guys are rocking and ready to go. Let's see who the winner is from yesterday's video before we jump into the MLB content. So congratulations to Hat1967, Bacon and Bacon. You're a winner ever, right? I think this should be the first time you've won. But welcome to the channel. If you're newer, welcome to the channel. Hopefully you're ready to go. So again, congratulations. 2 ways to get a hold of us. Either email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, with a username and email you would like to use for your account on the website, or hit me up on Twitter with the same exact information at advisors_team over there on Twitter/X. So congratulations again, Hat1967. Let's get rocking. So like I said, we've got early games. It's a split slate like normal. Pretty much any normal Saturday. We've got these 2 doubleheaders games here that as of now we don't know who's pitching. DraftKings might have it available. So just kind of looking at this, we've got this game here. It's the 110, the 4-game early slate. So it is thinking it's going, and this hasn't been confirmed because you know how kind of funky it gets when there's doubleheaders, which pitcher is going to go first, which pitcher is going to go in the second game. So we got to be a little bit careful on this, but building it out. I wouldn't use a pitcher in this one anyway. I would use the bats, obviously. But it looks like it should be Alex Cobb versus Pete Lambert. Now, looking at Alex Cobb here, hasn't really hit value in a couple of starts. Now he goes into Coors, which isn't the best here. I wouldn't suggest that. He got lit up by Cleveland. Well, he didn't get lit up, but he only got 12.9 fantasy points at 7,800, which is not enough. Only went 5 innings there, 2 runs, none of them earned, 1 home run. San Diego only went 3 innings in that game. And then against Cincy, had a complete game. Splits-wise, he's faced Colorado once this year. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 7 Ks, 11.3 fantasy points, which would not be enough. Now, the way we kind of get the fantasy points is, in my motto, building out your lineups. Think of it in this way. And I'm going to build a chart out there. I have one somewhere. If you guys know ways to support the channel, like the videos, I know the ads are annoying, but keeping your ads on to help us out. Donating. We did have people give super thanks out in a few videos, but the problem is finding out that YouTube takes 30% of those super thanks. So if you want to donate, we've got a Cash App down below in the description, or you can hit me up, Twitter or email, and I can give you my PayPal or Venmo, and you can do it that way. I'm using those funds to go back into the system. So I found a computer that I built out. I would like to buy it. Using my winnings from DFS sports betting and donations from you guys definitely helps out. Other ways to do it is share the videos and liking the videos. Super simple, super easy. Get us out there more. I'm going to be putting. I have a chart somewhere. It's either in this computer, which is crapping out on me, or it is on one of my OneDrives where I have a full chart of like 2,000. So it's a chart of all the salaries from 2,000 to basically 15, 16,000. And then it's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times value. So you can kind of see what you're kind of looking for and like just help out to be a chart. So in baseball, I say at least 2 times value. So looking at that, he needs to have at least 16.2 fantasy points in this game to make it make sense. I don't like it against Colorado. Same thing with Pete Lambert. I'm not really looking at him as a pitcher here. He's 6,000, so he is cheap. But he just faced San Francisco his last start, minus 2.8 in San Francisco, which was a pitcher's park. They put up 6 earned runs against him. I love a San Francisco stack here early. 2 starts against them, or 2 games pitched against them. One of them is a start, has 9 earned runs. I am all over a stack here of San Francisco bats. So depending on what it is, we don't have the pitchers here, but the bats should stay the same. Again, though, when it is a doubleheader, that is when maybe some players might not play the first game. So definitely don't get screwed over, especially like sports betting. Speaking of sports betting, someone missed. I don't know if you saw it Thursday Night Football. You probably should have. The fumble through the end zone that ended in a turnover. Someone had a bet and they hit like 7 of 8 legs, and the 8th leg was Jefferson to score a touchdown, and they would have turned, I think, $50 into $30,000, and he fumbled it through. I can't even imagine. But yeah, sports betting, we did really well on Thursday night. Hopefully you guys have been with us. We've got sports bets for MLB. We've got sports bets for NFL as well. So the bats that I would use in this one would be Jock Peterson in the stadium. Love him as long as he's in the lineup. J.D. Davis, Yastrzemski I'm okay with. Brandon Crawford I'm okay with. Lamont Wade Jr. You want to get a little bit lower on the totem. Luis Matos, Wilmer Flores, Tyro Estrada. I feel like this is going to be one where you've got to find that mix and match of the stars versus scrubs kind of lineup here, because it is Coors. They're going to cost you a lot. If you're not going with Alex Cobb because he really hasn't done much, I would be looking at Ryan McMahon, Nolan Jones, a little bit of Tovar. I don't mind Charlie Blackmon, Hunter Goodman, and Brendan Rodgers. Really will and Chris Bryant is in there. Make sure he's in there. Again, coming off the IL as many times as he has lately. He's probably not going to play both games. Don't know if he'll play this first one or not. And those are the same exact bats that I would use in the second game. So we're not even going to cover the second game, because those are the kind of bats that I would use even if it's even on the slate that we can play. So that is the Coors game. I think you'll have to have some exposure, specifically because it's a 4-game early slate. Moving to the next one, you got Red Sox versus Blue Jays. You got Chris Sale versus Chris Bassett. Now, Looking at these numbers, Chris Sale's 9,200. They're the two highest priced pitchers on the slate. Game logs, not a good game against Baltimore. Only went 4 innings there. The problem is he's not going deep into games. He's going 5 innings max. At 9,200, I don't think I can trust him enough with going 5 innings max. That's my problem. Against Kansas City, he had a good game. Against Houston, not a good game. Against Houston, a little okay game there. Splits-wise, has not faced Toronto this year. They have a lot of righty bats that can hit lefties well. Chris Sale is due for an injury. I hope he doesn't get injured, but I am not going to pay up his price for 5 innings. I'm probably just going to avoid Chris Sale here. Probably look at the bats. Probably the same thing with Bassett. Coming off a terrible start against Texas, 0.8 fantasy points at 9,000. Now he's boosted up to 9,500. He is facing Boston. Splits-wise, he's faced him once this year. 7 innings, 7 hits allowed. He's actually had success against him. 1 earned run, 6 Ks. Pitching at home, he's got a 3.12 ERA. If I am paying up for a pitcher, it's probably Chris Bassett over Chris Sale. Because 5 innings here, he's had success against the Red Sox this year already. Probably looking at that. But let's take a look at the bats that we'd like if you're not going with either pitcher. The Toronto bats that I love, Matt Chapman, Vlad, Bo Bichette, right off the top. Then you got Davis Schneider, but he's priced up there pretty well. Another batter, if you want to go a little bit lower, Whit Merrifield against the lefty, I'm okay with there. Those would be maybe George Springer as well against the lefty. Flip side of that, if you're not going with Bassett, Devers, Wilyer Abreu if he's in there. He's a cheaper option. Tristan Casas has been one of the best hitters since the All-Star break, just not in the past 2 days when I've used him and needed him a home run. Hasn't given it to me. Or I used him on Wednesday and Thursday. And nothing in that Yankees. No home run for me in that Yankees matchup there. Justin Turner's been pretty good. I would look at him. Alex Verdugo, I don't mind. Yoshida, I'm okay with. Luis Urias, I'm okay with. I don't think his name is Sedan, like a car, but Rafaela, I would look at him. Rafaela here is 3,300. You could pair both of these dudes up. You could be pretty good with that one. So that's kind of my thought. If I'm taking a pitcher, it's probably Bassett over Chris Sale. Padres at the Athletics, because it is in Oakland. It's Matt Waldron versus Mason Miller. I don't know anything. Let's see. Matt Waldron here. So he just started his last game against Houston. Didn't do too well. 5 innings there. 4 earned runs. It is in Oakland, though. So he's out of the bullpen, but he's starting. Has not faced Oakland this year. This is a pitcher's park. Tournament-wise, at 6,400, I'm okay with. Because, again, you got to get a little bit crazy because it is an early 4-game slate. So there's not like you don't have a ton of fantastic options that you can pay down at or find that relief pitching. So that is the problem when you're building out your lineups. You got to find those pitchers that may look to... Ownership should be pretty low here at Matt Waldron. I'm okay with. But on the flip side of that, we've got Oakland. Mason Miller is 8,400. Why is he 8,400? He's 8,400 and went 2 innings both last 2 starts. And they're being cautious with his usage. Yeah, you're not using him. I would be looking, so I would use Waldron here, and I'd be looking at San Diego bats. So I'm looking at Tatis, Machado, Bogarts, Juan Soto against him, Kim also. And I'm not looking at Oakland bats. So Waldron, not using Mason Miller. He's opening. And then Medina. He's 8,400 as an opener, as wild. And he hasn't had success either. I'm stacking San Diego, and that's that. Waldron and San Diego. Braves at the Marlins has to be announced here. It's looking like it's going to be Jared Schuster. He last pitched August 27th, so he hasn't. It's probably going to be a bullpen game. This could change. We do see this all the time, especially in September. This is going to be where baseball gets a little bit like you're going to get a little and you may have noticed it already, you're going to get a little bit pissed off and tired, because the fact is that with September baseball, you're getting the call-ups, you're getting teams that are already out of it. You've got the Braves, who have already clinched their division. They might be resting some of their batters. So they're bringing up other pitchers. They might be resting their pitchers to get them ready for the playoffs because they have already clinched. So you got Schuster, which it could be him. It could be someone else by the time we get there. You don't really know. But looking at this, it looks like it's going to be Brian Hoeing here. Problem with this is, he's not going deep into games. 1 inning, 3.1, 1 inning. So this one is where I'm looking at the Braves bats. I'm not looking at the Marlins bats. If you wanted to look at Marlins bats, Jesus Sanchez, Brian De La Cruz, Jazz, Luis Ariz, those would be the ones I look at. Then the Braves bats, it's open season. Anytime the Braves are going to be out there against pretty much the way they've been hitting this year, they're a fantastic stack. Just look at the lineup that comes out for the Braves and go that route. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be disappointed. They are going to be very expensive, though. Rangers at the Guardians, you got Dane Dunning versus Tanner Bibby. So we have covered the early or very early only, stuff like that. We've got a weird 2-game turbo slate, at least on DraftKings anyway. Wild. But looking at this, Dane Dunning here had a really good start against Toronto, 6 innings there, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks. Looking at this, he has not faced Cleveland this year yet. So just kind of looking what he's done, he's been very up and down this year. He's got a 3.91 ERA. Game logs, 20.1 is good, and then really hasn't had a good start in a while. At San Francisco was a good start there. On paper, he should have a better start. He is on the road where he does have a 3.59 ERA compared to a 4.27 ERA. So he is better on the road. I just don't know if I want to pay. The problem is you've got 4 pitchers to go from. And Luke Weaver just got signed by the Yankees, and they're really starting him. Wild. Bibby, and then it's against Texas. So this is probably a slate I'm not even looking at. Like, I don't know why you would play an all-day slate. Those don't make sense to me because you get screwed out. You get screwed over more times than you don't when someone sits later on. You can't get them out. Texas bats. Let's just look at Bibby real quick. Coming off a good start there against the Angels, not a good start against Minnesota. Kind of back and forth there. Didn't hit value and hit value a couple of times. Splits-wise, he's faced Texas this year already. He actually had success. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. If you want to get contrarian, you could do Bibby against the Rangers. But the Rangers, we know that they're really good. So they've been hitting the ball very, very well. But on a slate like this, it might be kind of difficult to navigate pitching. Might go with a Dane Dunning, Luke Weaver. I don't know. It's not one that I like. Bats-wise, obviously with the Rangers, I would be looking at Jonah Heim, Corey Seager, Mitch Garver. Don't know if he's going to be in or not. Last I looked, he left Thursday's game with a foot issue. I haven't seen if he's been put on the IL yet or not. I would look at him if he's in. Josh H. Smith is there. Marcus Semien is there. Cleveland, it's really Josh Naylor, Bo Naylor, Andres Jimenez, and Jose Ramirez would be the only bats that I kind of feel confident about enough against Dane Dunning. Then the Yankees at the Pirates. This doesn't have it yet for whatever reason, but they believe it's going to be Luke Weaver versus Luis Ortiz. Weaver comes in with a 6.77 ERA, 93 Ks. Game logs, has not had a good game since maybe 8/23, depending on what his salary was, and August 8th at 16.2. So splits-wise, he's faced Pittsburgh twice this year because he was in Cincy. Then I think he went to the Mariners, or he was at the Mariners. I don't remember. He's gone around. But the problem is 9.2 innings against the Pirates, 10 hits allowed, 8 earned runs, 4 home runs, 15 Ks, averaging 4. The fact is, he's averaging 14 fantasy points per game, which would hit the 2 times value. And at 6,200, if he could get a little bit of run support from the Yankees, he could be in store for a good game. Luis Ortiz, on the other hand, not a good start his last one, but he's cheaper, but now he's priced up against the Yankees. Has not faced them this year, obviously. Pitching at home, it does have a 4.81 ERA at home. probably looking at the Yankees bats here. So the bats that make sense that if they're in the lineup would be Judge. I would be looking at Everson Pereira. Oswald Peraza has absolutely turned it on lately. Oswaldo Cabrera. I mean, these names are crazy, but Gleyber Torres. Then I would look at DJ LeMahieu. Pretty much check out the Yankees lineup, and if it is Higashioka, I'm probably off Higashioka. If it's Austin Wells, I'm probably off the catcher position for the Yankees. And then any other position in that lineup, I'm okay with there. But the catcher, Higashioka, I don't trust enough, and Austin Wells is batting like under 100. Those would be the two that I would get away from, but a full Yankee stack, definitely okay with here. Tampa Bay at Baltimore, so now we are on to the main slate. You got Tyler Glasnow versus Grayson Rodriguez. This is for the division, basically. The way these two more games go, we could kind of see a shift in the division. So Glasnow's had success against the Orioles before. Grayson Rodriguez has had success against Tampa Bay before. Glasnow is going to cost you. He's $10,800, so he is going to be very, very expensive. But kind of looking into that, good game here against Minnesota. Fantastic game against Boston where he had 14 Ks. Splits-wise, he's faced Baltimore twice this year, 2 starts, 11.1 innings, 8 earned runs, though. So he's actually, in his career, he's had success. This year, he's gotten lit up. He might be one where the way Baltimore's been playing this year, I might go away from him. Just because of his price at $10,800 really handcuffs you when you're trying to build out. And then Grayson Rodriguez, it really just depends on which Grayson we're going to get. Is it going to be the 11.8 that he did against Boston or the 22-28 here against LA and the White Sox? He's faced Tampa Bay twice this year already, 11.1 innings, 4 earned runs. 16.6 is his average. That's really good numbers there. So if in this matchup, I kind of like Grayson Rodriguez over Glasnow a little bit. So if you want to look at the bats here, even though he's on my list, and it's not a good list to be on right now, Adley, Ryan Mountcastle, I would look at. Cedric Mullins, I'm okay with. Gunnar Henderson, I'm okay with. Santander. If you want to go cheaper, an Adam Frazier or an Austin Hayes or Heston Kjerstad here. If he gets the start, he'd be, let's see, Kjerstad, let's see how much. Should be very low priced. $2,000. So if he does get in there, if he gets the start, that could be a very sneaky option there for Baltimore. Tampa Bay-wise, if you're not going with Grayson Rodriguez, Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau, I would look at Rosa Reyna, Luke Raley. Maybe go down a little bit further, go Harold Ramirez or Christian Bethancourt or Paredes or maybe even Taylor Walls. Those would be kind of what I'd look at. But in this, I might be avoiding Glasnow just due to his price and just kind of looking for Grayson Rodriguez to have a better game. So that's kind of where my thought process is when I'm building my lineups out. And then the Astros at the Royals, you got JP France versus Cole Ragans. Ragans has been dominating this year. JP France has been dominated. And we're going to look at the numbers. So let's take a look real quick. You can see Ragans is up here above JP France. So you got France here. We did use him his last start against San Diego, came through for us for 20.1. But then he had, against Texas, did not have success. He's had those big games, and then he's had like minus 16.6 where he gave up 10 earned runs against Boston. Splits-wise, he has not faced Kansas City this year. It is a plus matchup for him in this ballpark, so I do give him that. Looking at that, pitching on the road, does have a better ERA of 2.6 on the road, and he has a plus matchup against Kansas City. But as we know, Kansas City bats have come alive for us a lot lately, actually. But then you look at Cole Ragans, and we used him. The problem is his price has shot up. Loved him when he was $5,400 and $6,000. Dominated. We dominated there. Even 2 starts ago against the White Sox at $7,200. Great. Then they put his price up to over $8,000. Now we're getting to the part where he makes sense, but he's now going up against a team that hits lefties well, and he's priced up at $8,200. He's faced Houston once this year already. Not a start. 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks. The problem is I've been on the Ragans train for about a month now. I think I'm getting off at the station today. I think I'm looking at more focused on JP France, who's never faced the Royals before, in Kansas City, and then looking at the Astros bats. Now, the bats that I'd be looking at would be Jose Altuve at the top, Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker and Yordan both hit lefties very well. I'd be looking at them. If you want to get a little bit cheaper, because again, those are going to be very expensive options. If Chas McCormick is in there, I like him. Michael Brantley, I'm okay with. Depends on the lineup that comes out. Jose Abreu could be a little bit cheaper option there compared to a Yordan or a Kyle Tucker. Those would be where I'm at. So I'm definitely on an Astros stack. I'm priced out of Cole Reagans right now. Hopefully he has a really good start against the Astros, but DraftKings has priced me off of him. So I'm looking at JP France in this plus matchup for him, and then a Houston stack. Reds at the Mets, you got Andrew Abbott versus Tyler Meagle. Which Tyler are we going to get? Which Meagle? Which Mets offense? You honestly have no idea. Abbott is 9,500. This is a pitcher's park, so he's in store for what should be a good game. Don't know if he's going to actually get it or not. That's the problem. Not a really good start against St. Louis, and he was 9,700, so they brought him down a little bit. It's been up and down. It really has. Splits-wise, has not faced the Mets this year. 9 starts at home, 9 starts away. He is on the road here. Does have a worse ERA on the road. Kind of feeling a Mets stack over Andrew Abbott at 9,500. At that price range, 9,500, I think I'd rather play Kershaw at 10,000, even though he's not going deep into games. I'd rather play France at 8,100 or Rodriguez at 7,800. That being said, Tyler Meagle, on the other hand, is down here. Game logs, okay. Didn't get value here. Got value against Seattle, which makes no sense to me. Splits-wise, has not faced Cincy this year. Pitching at home, he does have a better ERA at home. This is a pitcher's park. While maybe I would use Meagle on tournaments because he is 6,500, I think I'd rather look at a Mets stack. Pete Alonso against the lefty is always going to be one of the top options for you on the slate. So Pete Alonso, Lindor I would look at, Alvarez I would look at. Nimmo I'm okay with. Go a little bit lower. Mark Vientos, Jonathan Araz, if he's in there. Maybe Rafael Ortega as a very cheap tournament option. If you're not going with Meagle and you want to look at the Reds bats, we could look at Joey Votto's a tournament option. I think Will Benson's an option. Tyler Stevenson. I do like Stevenson a little bit better against lefties. Same thing with Renfroe and Bader. You could look at Jake Fraley, who's really been quiet since coming back from the IL. TJ Friedel a little bit, maybe Spencer Steer. Ellie De La Cruz, I think, I hate to say it because everyone jumped the gun, but I think he's a little overrated. He's still highly priced, and he hasn't been doing good lately overall. He came out shooting like a rocket, kind of fizzled out a little bit. Not saying he's a bad player, just, again, he's a rookie. It's you got to get going. So I don't think I want to pay up for Ellie De La Cruz, though. So definitely looking at maybe even Noah Marte would be a cheap option there. Probably going off the Abbott train, looking at the Mets as a stack, maybe Meagle for tournaments, but I don't trust him enough. Twins at the White Sox, you got Pablo Lopez versus Touki Toussaint. We've got Pablo here, second highest priced pitcher at 10,500, coming off a fantastic game against the Mets. He's faced the White Sox twice this year, 14.2 innings, 4 earned runs, 18 Ks. He's actually had very good games against them. I think if I'm paying up 10,500, I'm okay with there. Over Glass now. And then the flip side of that, Touki, the reason he's down here, he went 1 inning against Kansas City, gave up 8 earned runs. We actually had Kansas City as a stack on that day. We cashed everywhere with that. Minus 17.8 against Kansas City before that, had a good game. Splits-wise, hasn't faced many this year. Pitching at home, 6.11 ERA. I'm probably avoiding him. I'm probably here looking at Minnesota as a stack and Pablo Lopez against Toussaint. So Minnesota bats that I'd look at would be Matt Wallner, Carlos Correa, Max Kepler, Alex Kirilloff, Edward Julian, maybe Jorge Polanco. That would be the bats that I would look at there. And Royce Lewis. Now, Royce Lewis hit a home run for us the other night in sports betting. Big fan of Royce. Not looking at Toussaint. I'm really not looking at the White Sox bats at all in this matchup. The Nationals at the Brewers. You got Trevor Williams versus Corbin Burnes. I already know I'm going Brewers as a stack, and I'm going Trevor Williams to get lit up. And then I would go Corbin Burnes. Now, we know, or you might not know, but Corbin Burnes was matching Garrett Cole pitch for pitch on Sunday. Had a no-hitter going until the 9th inning, or the 10th inning, I think. I think it was the 10th inning. So let's look at these numbers real quick. So Trevor Williams is down here. I would not use him. I don't think we've used Trevor Williams one time this year in any lineup that we've ever done. I don't think I've ever suggested him. I can't remember if I have anyway. Minus 2.1 against the Dodgers, minus 8.2 against Miami. Splits-wise, has not faced Milwaukee this year. He is pitching on the road where he does have, he has a better ERA than at home, but it's still over 5. So yeah, as long as he's in the game, I'm looking at Yelich. I'm looking at William Contreras. I would look at Willy Adames. Those are my main 3. And then you got to sprinkle in some other guys. So Mark Canha, Carlos Santana, I would look at. Get even cheaper would be Rowdy Tellez. Bryce Turing and Sal Frelick I would look at. And then Corbin Burnes, yeah, he's up here. Coming off a fantastic game against the Yankees, 30.8. He's $100 more. Now he's got a matchup against Washington. He has faced them once this year. He did start off the season bad, and he's come back along. I would definitely look at Corbin Burnes, 10,300. I would probably pay up for Pablo Lopez a little bit more than Burnes, but I do like both of these guys. And then, yeah, I'm not looking at any Washington bats, and I'm looking at a Brewers stack. Phillies at the Cardinals, Ranger Suarez versus Miles Mikolas. So we got Ranger Suarez here at 7,400. Game logs, coming off a good game against Miami. Not really a good game against Milwaukee. Good game against Minnesota. A lot of M teams. Hasn't faced St. Louis this year. Pitching on the road. He actually has a better ERA on the road, 2.89. It's got 43 Ks on the road as well. And St. Louis is St. Louis. There's a reason they just haven't been good most of the time all year. So taking that into effect at 7,400, I'm okay with Ranger Suarez for tournaments. He's in the same realm right down here. I'd be okay with that. And then Mikolas, really, yeah, hasn't hit value since August 8th against Tampa Bay. Had 2 good starts in a row, and then it's been very up and down, not hitting value almost all year. 4.75 ERA. Has faced Philly once this year, went 6 innings, 5 earned runs. I'm looking at a Philly. I don't think it's a surprise. Almost any given day, you're looking at Philly as a stack of some sort, and that's exactly what we're going to look at now, because they're good. They start off the season bad. They are good now. They've been amazing. Trey Turner, since getting an ovation in Philly, has been on another level. Schwarber, I'm calling a Schwarbomb in this game. I might even take it precisely down to the first inning against Miles Mikolas, as long as there's no weather concerns. Bryce Harper would be another option. Trey Turner, like I said, has been on fire. Alec Boehm, I would look at. Brandon Marsh, I'm okay with. And again, these are going to be very expensive, very popular picks. We know that. That is where you've got to find that value. Value plays would be Garrett Stubbs if he's in there, which I don't think he will be. Bryson Stott, I would look at Edmundo Sosa, I'm okay with. Maybe Jake Cave if he's in there, but I don't know if he will be. So there's a reason half this team is almost in deep red. Castellanos is another one. If for whatever reason you're not going Ranger Suarez and you want to go the Cardinals bats, I would look at Goldie. Wilson Contreras should be back, should be good to go there. I would look at Jordan Walker. Tyler O'Neill I'm okay with. Arenado against the lefty I like. If you want to get lower, Richie Palacios and Mason Wynn would be cheaper options there. Maybe along with Burleson or even Lars Nootbaar going into this game here. So a little bit of Ranger Suarez, not a ton. I'm stacking the Phillies against Miles Mikolas. They might be one of my favorite stacks of the day. Cubs at the Diamondbacks, you got Kyle Hendricks versus Zach Davies. Again, We know that Kyle Hendricks has zero enthusiasm. If you've been with us before, you know Kyle Hendricks has zero enthusiasm in his entire life. And then Zach Davies ghosted his wife. I love to say this every time because there are new people to the channel. If you don't know what Zach Davies did to his wife, Google it. He didn't beat her. He didn't abuse her. He didn't kill her. He ghosted her. Apparently went out on the road pitching. Then never went home, and then filed for center of divorce papers. I don't know what happened, but yeah, definitely check that out. Pretty upstanding citizen type stuff out of Zach Davies in that one. But looking, that's not here nor there. That doesn't really have anything to do with what we're talking about. We will look at their numbers here. They have seen each other a little bit. I believe Zach Davies pitched for the Cubs, right? Look that up real quick. I'm not going to take time, but look that up. So you got Kyle Hendricks here at 7,200. It's been up and down this year. Had a good game his last start against Arizona, this exact team. 5.2 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. 16 fantasy points at 7,200 would be perfect. But then he's been up and down this entire year. Pitching on the road, he does have a little bit better ERA on the road. So 7,200 I'm okay with. We got to get at least 6 Ks out of him to make it feel confident enough to pay that price. And then we've got Zach Davies down here, 5,300. His last game against the Mets, he pitched against the Mets on Monday. 8.8 fantasy points at 5,200 is not enough. Has not faced the Cubs this year. Pitching at home, does have a 6.23 ERA at home, which somehow is better than his 8.1 on the road. That is the problem. He gets lit up, and I would definitely be looking at the Cubs bats here. But I kind of like both sides. So let's just look at both sides of this, see both Cubs and Arizona bats, just to get a feel for what we could expect, the plays that we could be expecting in that game. So Chris Morel, Suzuki, Dansby Swanson, Cody Bellinger, those are all going to be the main guys. Then I would go down to a Mike Tauchman. I would look at Pete Crow Armstrong as well. Go a little bit lower, Nico Horner or Nick Madrigal for the Cubs bats. Flip side of that, so Tommy Pham and Longoria both hit lefties better than righties. So I might be off them a little bit. Pham, though, you can see has a ton of dark red, which is exactly what we need. Then a Ketel Marte I'm okay with. Corbin Carroll, lefty bat here. Love me some Corbin Carroll here. I'm okay with Christian Walker. I'd be okay with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Go a little bit lower, I'd go Jordan Lawler, Geraldo Perdomo, maybe Jake McCarthy if McCarthy even gets in there. So I'm probably avoiding a Longoria, Alec Thomas, Sebi Zavala, Emmanuel Rivera. Probably avoid those. So I do like both stacks here. I think I will have a little bit of exposure to Kyle Hendricks, but that'll probably be that'd probably be it for what I would do. Would have a little of Hendricks, no Zach Davies at all. Tigers at the Angels is the next game. You got Sawyer, Gibson Long versus Tyler Anderson. I believe this is Sawyer's second start, right? And he's 7,500. So he faced the White Sox his last start. Good game on Sunday. 1 dub out of him, his first career start, 5 innings, 5 Ks against the White Sox. Now he's got an Angels team that they're not that good without Ohtani. And if Ohtani's out, I love this even more. Very cheap option, or at 7,500, he should go under-owned. And then Tyler Anderson here at 6,900. 22.4 against Cleveland. There. Then he didn't have a good start against Oakland at Oakland. Gave up 3 earned runs. Against Philly, gave up 6. So looking at these numbers, he's pitching at home. He does have a 4.67 ERA, which is better than on the road, but it's still 4.67. So kind of like Detroit bats in this one, and I'm going to show you why. I think if you've been with us before, you know that I love some Spencer Torkelson. That is a God-given fact. Spencer Torkelson against a righty or a lefty, pick up the toilet paper. I'm ready. I've already busted. Torkelson, absolutely love Torkelson. I would look at Kerry Carpenter a little bit. I would look at maybe Parker Meadows, but a lefty on lefty. I don't think I would stack the Tigers. Pretty much maybe the one-off bat that I would look at, maybe look at Carson Kelly, but my one-off would be Spencer Torkelson 100%. If you're not going Sawyer, you go the Angels, Brandon Drury, Randall Grichuk, Mickey Moniak, Shohei. If Shohei is in, I don't like Sawyer. If Shohei is out, I love Sawyer. But there's not a ton of Angels bats. This is probably one that I just avoid. Spencer Torkelson Torkelson and Sawyer might be the only two players in this entire matchup that I want anything to do with. And then the final game, the Dodgers at the Mariners. You got Kershaw versus Bryce Miller. Kershaw's 46 plate appearances against them, 163 batting average. Bryce Miller's never faced the Dodgers before. The problem is Kershaw, he's been injured. He came back. Dave Roberts said that his shoulder, he's expected to start this. He will battle through the entire season, but he's only going 5 innings. 5-5-2, 5-5. So the problem is against Miami, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 Ks. He's not going deep into games for 10,000. I do not trust him at 10,000. I think a contrarian play. I don't know how contrarian it'll be, but I'll be looking at a Seattle stack. I think I'll be stacking this game. Check out the Vegas numbers to see how high a priced this Vegas is, but I'm definitely looking at stacking both sides to finish the day and get that late night hammer out of both of them. So the bats that I would look at would be on the Dodgers side, since they're on the road. Freeman, Muncy, Mookie Betts. Those are the top 3. Depending on which outfielders, Outman or Jason Hayward, I'm okay with. David Peralta. Maybe I love Will Smith against lefties. He is going up against a righty here. JD Martinez is another option. Flip side of that, if you think that Kershaw is going to get lit up, which he's only going to go about 5 innings probably total, get him out of there and get the bullpen in. But Julio against a righty I love, or a lefty. Teoscar Hernandez against a lefty. Suarez against a lefty. Cal Raleigh, the big switch hit and dump, the big dumper. Love me some Cal Raleigh. J.P. Crawford, okay. Ty France is a cheaper option against a lefty as well. A little bit lower, Sam Haggerty or Josh Rojas, I'm okay with. I don't know if I'll have much exposure to those guys at all. So there you have it. If it's the first time you've been here, hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully you got enough information to be a better DFS player. If you need a little bit more, check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Sign up for FTA+. Let's rock and roll. Let's check it out. But like I said, at the end of this video, we've done, while doing the video, I've done 2,000 simulations, and I want to tell you what the top 10 pitchers and top 10 bats of the entire day is while we were talking there. So that being said, here they are. Now, by the time you watch this, they have probably changed. We do the 10,000 simulations at about 2 hours before main lineup lock. But the problem is the early games isn't main, and it doesn't give enough for the lineups all to come out, injury reports to come out, stuff like that. So these are the top 10 batters on this main slate, or on the day. Bobby Witt Jr., number 1. Kyle Schwarber, who I am predicting hitting a home run, maybe even his first at bat, number 2. Trey Turner, wouldn't be surprised if he hits a home run, number 3. Cody Bellinger. Corey Seager is number 5. Number 6 is Corbin Carroll. Number 7 is Gunnar Henderson. Number 8 is Luis Robert Jr. Number 9 is Max Kepler. And number 10 is Kyle Tucker. I believe we covered every single one of those batters when we talked about the matchups and the bats that we like in those matchups. Pitching-wise, number 1 is Corbin Carroll. Number 2 is Andrew Abbott, which, again, I don't agree with all of these. These are simulations. I don't agree with that one as of now. Maybe something will change my mind during the day. Chris Sale's number 3. I don't agree with that one either. Tyler Glasnow's number 4. He's actually had not a ton of success against them this year. Number 5 is Mason Miller, which he's an opener. I'm not looking at him. 6 is Clayton Kershaw. This is what's great. You don't have to agree with them. These are just through 2,000 simulations. 7 is Pablo Lopez, which might be my favorite play of the day. Tyler Meagle is number 8. Number 9 is Chris Bassett. And number 10 is Cole Reagan. So those are your top 10 batters. Those are your top 10 pitchers. That is what we've got. If you found it helpful or useful, good. If you need a little bit more help, go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. We have a ton of MLB information. We got our player projections. We got the Vegas odds. We got the batter splits. We got the BVP matchups. We got stolen bases. We got contrarian stacks. We've got it all for you. If you need a little bit more help, check out FTA+. We will be back tomorrow with a video. Don't know how popular it'll be because everyone will be on the NFL train, which is what we should be doing. We'll have NFL content for you as well. A ton of great NFL content too. So good luck on this slate today, everybody. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace!